It's January in Nottingham. The skies are that familiar shade of grey, and for most of us the reality of the new year is starting to settle in. If you've been with this channel for a while, you know exactly what my reality looks like. The load of care that I move around with. You've heard me talk about the cost of living crisis, the food crisis, and the sheer grinding mechanics of looking after people who can no longer look after themselves. But if you're new here, or if you're just stumbling onto this video because the algorithm pushed it your way, let me take a moment to introduce myself properly. My name's Kevin Shaw, I'm 56 years old, and my life is defined by a very crowded, and very loud, and sometimes very lonely responsibility. I'm a full-time caregiver, and not in the abstract sense. I am currently caring for my mother, who is living with dementia, and I'm also caring for my father, who is battling a complex aftermath of stroke combined with dementia. And I'm caring for my brother, who suffers from psychosis. For over a decade, I also cared for Terry, my ex-partner's father, a man who I respected deeply, who we lost recently to mixed dementia. That loss, well, it closes a chapter, but it doesn't lighten the load. It just shifts the weight. People talk about the sandwich generation, those of us caught between raising children and caring for aging parents. And to be honest with you, I feel like I've moved past the sandwich generation. I feel more like I'm in a panini press and I'm being squeezed from the top by the needs of my parents and from the sides by the unpredictable reality of my brother's mental health. There are days when the house is filled with voices of psychosis, and other days when it's filled with the terrifying silence of dementia. It's a lot, and for a long time this channel was my way of documenting that struggle. My way of saying, I'm here, this is hard, and if you're going through it too, you're not alone. But 26 has to be different. I need it to be different. You see, when you spend 24 hours a day watching the human brain struggle, when you see the fear in your father's eyes because he can't find the right word, or the anxiety in your brother's face because his reality is shifting, you stop just wanting to survive it and you start wanting to solve it. You start wondering if there's a better way to manage this neural health thing that seems so fragile. I realised a few months ago that I couldn't wait for a pharmaceutical company or a government policy to fix the day-to-day struggles of my family. I had to build something myself. So I made a decision. I started a new project. I built a new neurohealth app called Amygd. Now I hear you asking, Kevin, you're 56, you're a caregiver. You're not a software engineer from Silicon Valley. How are you building an app? And that is the most exciting part. We're living in a moment where the barriers to entry are collapsing. I am building this entire platform using something called vibe coding. If you haven't heard the term before, it sounds trendy. The concept is very simple. I don't sit there typing complex syntax that I don't understand. I use artificial intelligence. I talk to the AI. I explain in plain English what I want. I tell it I need a feature that helps with dementia, with remembering medication schedules without feeling patronised. Or I need a panic button for someone experiencing a psychotic episode that instantly calms them down with specific visual cues. And then the AI writes the code. We build it together, line by line, prompt by prompt. Now, I'm doing this because I refuse to accept that life at 56 is just about decline. There is a narrative out there that once you hit 50, especially if you're a caregiver, your life is effectively over. You're just there to facilitate the end of life for others. I reject that. I personally believe that with age, it's not about losing agency, but about building one. As we continue to learn entirely new skills that didn't even exist 5 years ago. So this is my promise to you for 2026. This channel is evolving. We are still going to talk about caregiving. I will never shy away from the truth of what it takes to change an adult diaper or manage a manic episode or navigate the grief of losing someone like Terry. That is my reality, and I know it is the reality of many of you. But we're also going to talk about building. I'm going to share the development of Amygd with you, and I want to show you the devlog of a caregiver. I want you to see the failures, the bugs, the breakthroughs, and hopefully the day we launch this thing and actually help someone. I want this channel to become a resource not just for how to survive caregiving, but for how to innovate through it. If you're a caregiver, if you're interested in the future of mental health, or if you just want to see a 56-year-old bloke from Nottingham can actually build a tech startup from a room like this, I hope you'll subscribe. It's going to be a long year, it's going to be a hard year, but for the first time in a long time, I'm really excited about what we're going to make of it. Thank you for listening, thank you for being here. My name's Kevin Shaw, and I will see you in the next video.